Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Listen, let's have a brief do a brief video on the Candy saga. So I'm sure everyone's heard now about Todd, who is staying in the guest home. Ooh, squatter. Okay. Listen, it's interesting how these men can get themselves in a situation where they can engage in what I call, ho ho ho. But then when your actions cause a relationship or the marriage to be destroyed and the wife wants you to leave, why you can't just go, go, go? That's a problem. Listen, a lot of these men have no problems leaving a family. You think if Todd was sitting up and let's say, what if he had in his account $2 million, which I don't know what she did, $2 million cash in his account? It would surprise me if he would have been gone. If the rumors are true, what they say on the internet streets, and I do believe them, so why is it you just can't go? You're sitting up here being labeled as a squatter. This is giving that I really can't live the life I'm accustomed to without Candy's money. This is giving, it's kind of sounding like your homeboy Ralph. Remember when he was staying in the basement with Deusadora as they were going through divorce? Never in my life have I ever heard of anything like that. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so totally awkward. So now this one right here, and Todd has his own talents. The movie The Past I thought was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Loved Usadora. Very good acting. Yeah. Wow. I thought it was great. But they've packed your things up. Why can't you go ahead and find your own place? I mean, if you do have a side chick or a side someone, why can't you stay there? Go with that person. Or could it be maybe, I don't know, does she have a voucher that makes it where you cannot sit there? I don't know. I'm asking for a friend. But when these men have money, they have no problems packing up. They'll up and leave a family and have a ho 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 pat on the side with the quickness. Trust and believe. Some of the broken ones will have one that's an apartment. Oh, yes, indeed. So why can't you just go? And people say, oh, he's there for the kids. Of course he is, because Candy's a moving shaker. See, my issue is I'm wondering about his success. This is not going to be a marriage where you can say, okay, well, Candy, when they first got married, she was worth $15 million. Just say, for example, hypothetically. And now, since her marriage to Todd, they're worth 25 million. This is not that. Sure, they've done some business ventures together, and there's been some success clearly. But we need to make sure that the success can clear out the debt. Because what I'm seeing, based on what I see on the World Wide Web, there's debt there. And Candy was smart. She didn't use her money to go ahead and clean up the mess from the debt. She's a smart woman. She's not going to stick around, let some man bring her down and bring down the empire. She's not that girl. So the fact that he's still staying in the other house, it is given that I don't want to leave until I get a check from Candy. Makes me wonder, are you like are you like, a sniff away from being Lint Pocket Larry compared to Candy? Of course. You've been married to the formula. She's had multiple business ventures that are successful before you. So the fact that you're married to her and you can't do the same, it makes me question things. When he first started out and they had like a trucking company, I remember a video and she was like, you're starting all these different businesses. I figured in my mind what he was doing, I said, oh, he's slick. He's going to go ahead and get a head start and get a lot of businesses going. And then if they're successful, then guess what? If things don't work out, he can say, we've got this together, that together, and he'll leave it a whole lot of money. But see, it's just, this is not that. There is also debt associated with some of these business ventures. Oh, yeah. People say, he's going to be there for the kids. You can be there for the kids and get your own place. He can actually, and this might be a news flash, you can actually like lease a home or a condo or what have you that's fully furnished and parent from there. You really can. Yeah. Now, it may not be as fancy as Candyland, but it can be done. Let's not pretend. It's not as if, oh, well, Hollywood been calling and he's got a he's sitting up here, he's signed a contract. He's got to do 3 movies in 5 years, okay? He's got 3 movies in 5 years. He got to get to cracking. That's not the deal. It's not like, from what I can see, he had that kind of setup going on. And it was like, well, no, I got to see about my children. One of the parents have to be there. This is not that, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't see it. Again, my opinion, this is not that. You have more time on your hand. Candy, she's moving and shaking. She's making deals. She is the deal maker. So you got time to allegedly ho ho ho. You got time to get the show on the road. But when these men do things like this, again, when they have money, man, they'll leave a chick in a heartbeat. We've seen it. These rappers, these different men, they'll be up and gone. Businessmen, regular men, they got a little change, they'll be up and gone. So Todd, if you've been playing, ho 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 out there in the streets, then you ought to already have a place to go go go. Can't you go with a company that you keep? So this is giving. It sounds like to me, I'm not leaving without a check. You stand. Candy already had. Did she already have this property before they got married? Because I remember when Mama George chewed them out. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley wide enough to keep me off your ash, son. And he tried to act brand new. Try to, boy, don't be coy. What do I have to gain? He said, what do you mean you have to gain all of this? Remember that video? I remember it was yesterday. And we got to say Mama George was right. So let me know what you think. How is it that these men, when it's time, they, again, if the allegations are true, and I do believe them, you can easily play ho, 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 but it's a problem when it's time for you to go, go, go. Why is that? Why is that? I hope they get joint custody. If that divorce, hypothetically speaking, if it was to be finalized today and they said, okay, this is going to be joint custody, Candy, you got your money, Todd, you got whatever money you got, minus these debts. If that were the case, I guarantee you, his lifestyle is going to change drastically. So don't be like Ralph sitting up there staying in the basement. Go ahead and move out. Go get your own place. This is really, it looks weak. It's not a good look. Anyway, let me know what you all think. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, and I'm out. Get them moving, Todd.